for expanding into the green economy. And therefore, if all of us collectively accept this as our global responsibility, as a responsible global citizen, our shared commitment to a better world, I think we can do wonders. I still remember when Vice President Al Gore had come out with his book, The Inconvenient Truth. Prime Minister Modi, who was then the Chief Minister of Gujarat, came out with his own version of convenient action. Because the truth was known to all of us. Truth was not getting recognized, but was known. It's action that is going to determine how quickly we are able to solve the world's problems. I think we need to recognize we need speed. We need to scale up our efforts towards a sustainable world. And every small bit matters. Every small element of our work will contribute. I remember Prime Minister Modi at this Energy Week that we had last month was gifted with a jacket similar to the one I'm wearing in blue, made out of recycled plastic. Now, he got that as a gift at the Energy Week. He could have kept it at home, worn it on any one function. But he wore it when he was addressing Parliament the next day. And it was a statement to the country and to the world that we recognize and that all of us will have to give those signals that we respect the environment, that we are all going to contribute to this green movement or the circular economy that we are all committed to, where reuse or recycling becomes extremely important. And therefore, this budget, which was introduced in India on 1st of February, 1 month ago, by the Honorable Finance Minister, and where the Prime Minister has sought to lay down the foundation of India's growth journey of the next 25 years. We believe that the next 25 years are going to be very crucial and critical for us as a nation as we transition to a developed economy. And this budget has sought to be a roadmap for this transition from a developing nation to a developed country, where 2 or 3 very significant elements are going to take us through the next 25 years. Very clearly, we all recognize sustainability is going to be very important. Prime Minister Modi, way back in 2014, had articulated his philosophy in a simple word, Z, Z-E-D, zero effect, zero defect. And we believe that quality and sustainability are 2 very important elements to India's growth journey as we take growth to the remotest parts of India, as we become a far more prosperous country than we are today. And the other very important aspect in Prime Minister Modi's vision, on which he has focused over the last 9 years, has been inclusive growth. His effort to provide for the basic needs of every single citizen in the country. The fact that today, a citizen of India, resident of India, doesn't have to worry about food, doesn't have to worry about shelter, clothing, the basic needs, clean water, digital connectivity, infrastructure connecting him to the rest of the world. These basic needs, healthcare and education, once these basic needs have been assured, and that's been the focus over the last decade or so, we today have 1 billion plus aspirational young boys and girls connected with the rest of the world, watching on television, on their mobile phones, smartphones, the good things of life that are available across the world. And it's that aspirational young Indian who's driving India's economic growth. He's the person who's responsible for India being the world's fastest growing large economy for several years in a row. And I do believe it will continue to be so for several decades into the future. And it is this large consumer base of 1.4 billion people who are, in some sense, also recognizing sustainability as an important element of our future growth. In Paris in 2015, we had all come to a shared understanding of our goals, our contribution to a better world in the future. I am happy to share with all of you that India is amongst the top 5 performers when it comes to benchmarking our work on meeting our nationally determined contributions or goals. In fact, there's no G20 country in the top 10, and that's a matter of concern. We still have to recognize that developing countries vis-a-vis developed countries will have to have different goals, different timelines, and will also have to provide for a better future for their children as they transition over the next few decades. And therefore, each of us, countries, will have to be very sensitive of each other's needs and each other's potential goals or outcomes or roadmap towards sustainability. In fact, I do believe that technology and finance are both going to play an important role, as is sustainable lifestyle. And unless we address these 3 issues, whatever be the amount of discussions, debate, dialogue we may have on this subject, the results are going to be suboptimal. And therefore, I would urge the world leaders, business leaders from across the world, and the political leadership, particularly of the developed world, to recognize that we will all have to contribute our fair share to make the world a better place to live in, whether it's energy efficiency, whether it's our own effort to reduce waste, whether it's our contribution towards the circular economy, whether it's our green goals, and how quickly we can transition ourselves and help the other countries also. I think the India-EU partnership and the India-UK partnership are 2 very important elements in the global effort to make the world a better place to live in. And I can assure my friends from the EU, from Netherlands, from Malta, and from UK, that India and every Indian, be he, whether he's in business or a citizen of India, every Indian is committed to ensuring that sustainability and inclusive growth are going to be the defining features of India's growth story in the years to come. I do believe that India recognizes and respects nature, its contribution to a better life for ourselves, and wishes to be a responsible global citizen as we innovate together, as we transition together to make in the world a safer place, the planet a safer place. As they say, we don't inherit the earth from our ancestors, we borrow it from our children. And therefore, as trustees, as the guardians of our children's wealth, I appeal to every business person in India or across the world, let us focus on sustainability. Let us ensure all our actions respect nature, respect the fact that collectively we all have to contribute to this huge challenge that the world is facing today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a small formality now. We want to thank all our esteemed guests for being here with us with a small token of appreciation from us. May I invite the Honorable Minister, Mr. Piyush Goyal, to kindly hand over the gift to His Excellency, Mr. Josep Borrell, High Representative of the European Union for Foreign Affairs and Security Policy and Vice President of the European Commission. May I request him to also hand over to His Excellency Mr. Wopke Hoekstra, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs, Netherlands. Quickly. May I also request you, sir, to hand over the token to the Right Honourable Minister James Cleverly, MP, Secretary of State for Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Affairs, United Kingdom. And one to His Excellency, Mr. Silvio Schembri, Minister of Economy, European Funds and Land, Malta. I'd now like to request Mr. Sanjeev Bajaj to kindly hand over a token of our appreciation to the Honourable Minister of Commerce and Industry, Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution and Textiles, Shri Piyush Goyal ji. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we come to a close of the valedictory session and the India-Europe Business and Sustainability Conclave. You've been a great audience. Thank you for your continued support, and we like to have you here every time. Thank you very much.